right before I made the post about Sarkodie, Hajara was sitting next to me and I was like, Hajara, look at this. Like, who saw to Sarkodie before he came out to shoot this video? Like, why is this a problem? And I was like, I'm going to post it. Ghana needs to know. People need to wake up. People need to be aware. And I was like, ish, but this thing I'm going to post right now, Sarkodie, he be King Kong. They go, worry me. Oh.
Another exciting edition of Talkertainment here on Ghanaweb TV, and I am your host Elsie Lamar, or you can call me Miss Lamar. Today we are being joined by one of Ghana's finest and talented actors and fashion designers. I'm not too sure he likes to be called a fashion designer because he likes calling himself the tailor. Yes,
the tailor. Yes,
your guess is right. Elikem Pumoji or Elikem the Tailor is our guest for today, and we are live here at his shop. Elikem.
Hello.
Other African tailors will disappoint you.
Except Elikem Pumoji the tailor.
Exactly. What was that tagline born out from, though?
So, I'll tell you a quick story. When I started this whole fashion thing, I used to take my clothes to other small tailors to finish, to give to my customers. I didn't have a shop. And one of the guys, Steven, he said to me, "Charlie, stand the door and make sure say some ash Honda be the camera." So when I say some ash Honda, they come, you go run past the back.
Yeah, right.
And the client or customer will come and be so upset. And so I started realizing that was a problem with us Ghanaian and African tailors. The issue with disappointments, the issue with not finishing the clothes on time. Tailor sell in 1 week and it's over a month. And so I said to myself, if I'm ever going to do this business, I'm going to fix the problem of disappointments and people not having their clothes on time. And so that's my tagline. There's a few disappointments here and there every now and then, but ultimately we try to keep ourselves from disappointing the customer, which was it still is a major problem in the tailoring business today.
But why do those things happen though? What are some of the factors?
Sometimes it's not their fault too. This work is very tiring. If you look at Patrick's fingers, for example, Patrick is our chief cutter. He's got black spots and marks around his arm, and yes, it's very daunting. They call it occupational hazard sometimes. And so it's a very daunting task to become a tailor. You stay up late at night, you're standing all day, your back hurts, balancing between sitting down and standing. And some tailors will take the work and overload themselves and they can't finish. So which is why my outfit grew into an enormous size, because I couldn't do the work alone. So everyone you see here is important to the business because they help us not disappoint a customer. So we have the stages of customer service to cutting, to stitching, to finishing and checking, all the operational activity. Everyone has a department they take care of, all in hopes of not disappointing the customer. Because that's what other African tailors do.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Always.
Yeah. So how many clothes or outfits do you make in a day? I know that it might be hard.
So we're an average of about 18 or 20 subcontractors who sew, and each person is meant to finish a minimum of 2 a day. So in the most likely case, we're looking at finishing about 36 individual pieces a day. And so if we were trying to move with speed and do a little overtime, we can say it's 3 items per person. So we can finish about 52 to 54 items a day if we go with speed, but on average it's about 36.
Okay. So what makes Elikem distinct from every other Ghanaian tailor?
Like we blatantly say, other African tailors will disappoint you, but we don't. So we make sure that we finish your clothes for you on time. That's number one. Number two, we bring you value by giving you the quality of service. So once you walk through our door, we have a trained customer service personnel to see to you and take your details, get you to sit down. We offer you water, we offer you a cold drink, and then we call in the other team. So the second team is a team of operational managers and our chief cutter who takes measurements. So
Okay.
then Patrick follows up with Derek, and they come and take your details and take a measurement. You can also book an appointment to see me.
Okay.
And then we discuss personally. I'm the creative director. So if you're not coming to order a design that's already existing, you saw online, and you want us to design something for you, you can either see me or my assistant creative director. And so bringing top-notch value in terms of the quality of service and trying not to disappoint. That's the hallmark we live by. And we charge you a little more for the quality of service because the processes we go through that bring out the clothes for it to be as pleasant for you as possible is quite rigorous. And so our charges are not like your regular container or your regular kiosk tailors. We're up a notch a bit. So I like to call myself affordable luxury. I'm also not as expensive as some of your high top designers in the country who charge in dollars, if I may say.
Talking about rates, what's the most expensive amount you've ever charged for an outfit?
I must have charged up to $5,000 for a pageant dress. It was a lady who was doing something in Liberia. It was for, if I'm not mistaken, a Miss Liberia. And it was flamboyant. It was all over the place. It was putting extra feathers, putting extra stones. Some couture dresses take like an arm and a leg to finish. And a lot has to be put into it. So.
Oh, okay. So there's this trend on social media lately. People order for outfits from their fashion
what you
designers.
get versus what you
exactly what you ordered. So I want to seek an expert advice on it. What usually goes into that? Why do people get
what
different?
Happens?
Yes.
So in the defense of the tailor, some clients don't bring to us clothes that will suit their body type. We all have a certain type of body. My body is different from his body. It's different from your body. It's different from her body. And certain clothes you wear that will suit you might not necessarily fit Hajara.
Yeah.
And certain clothes that she wears might not necessarily fit you. And so they see something online, and I want some. But
It won't look good.
the person has smaller hips, so it looks
Yeah.
good, and you have a nice big round bum, so it won't look good on you. And that's one of the factors. The other thing too is a lot of tailors or fashion designers don't take the time to learn the craft properly, and they also take the wrong job. So I know I can't sew corsets, but because I'm broke and I need the money and I'm desperate, I will take corset's job from you. Now I'm going to struggle to finish the corset, or I don't sew suits, and I'll take the suit job from you as a tailor, and I'm going to struggle to finish the suit. So by the time the suit comes out, bobo, agbo, because
Yeah.
it's not his field, it's not his expertise, it's not his niche of things to do. And so these are some of the reasons. The tailor is to be blamed partly, and the clients as well in different cases.
Has it also got to do with the type of fabric and the kind of fashion designer that sews it?
That too, which is
Yeah.
why I'm saying some tailors or fashion designers don't know the specific job or how to finish the specific attire, but they take the job. So fabric also plays a very big role, like you're saying. And so that what an elastic fabric will do to your body is not what a brocade fabric will do to your body. And so we need to also learn these things. And it's mostly all in the learning. It's always in the learning, you know.
Yeah, so earlier in somewhere around 2022, you made mention about the fact that moving away from fashion, your colleagues
Can I get scissors, please?
in the acting field, it's important that they also get other jobs running so as to cushion themselves in a way. Would you say that, because now let me put my
This is your line
down.
of questioning here.
It's very evident that a lot of them are venturing into other jobs.
Nowadays.
Would you say you are vindicated?
Yes, I have been vindicated in a way, and you can say I'm a sort of prophet. I brought light to them. All my colleagues, now everyone is venturing into a business. But I came out to say, in the entertainment industry, you need to have a day job. You need to have something that supports you. Whether you're in New York, or you're in Ghana, or you're in Hollywood, that doesn't matter. Find a day job. And now a lot of them are selling shito, some of them are selling sobolo, Some of them are selling juice and pastry, and it's pleasant to see, because then you're not held at the throat by these directors and producers and so-called music labels, and you're not hungry while you wait for your next hit. And sometimes too, there's a lot of laziness in the entertainment industry. Some musicians, for example, or some actors, for example, will go and, after waiting for a miracle from a producer or director, make a one-hit wonder, quote unquote.
That's it.
Go into the studio, record once, and they go sit home and expect that one hit will take them through a lifetime of events. Hell no. You need to constantly be at your job. So even as an entertainer, when you find a day job, you need to find the balance, because you have to be present in both jobs to make it work. And yeah, I said it. And it's good to see all of them, coming up and doing something for themselves.
Yeah, but let's move into acting. What is really happening? Because earlier a colleague of yours came out to say or admit that indeed the movie industry is, let me use the word, dead.
Who's this? Who said that?
Beverly.
Who said that?
Beverly.
Beverly Afaglo.
Yes. What's really happening?
So I think there's a lot of mediocrity in the industry. I've said this over and over again. I say this from a point of the fact that I've been outside the country in different settings. I've been in top productions in South Africa and big productions even in Nigeria. And Ghana is not taking things seriously. I say this because there's supposed to be a certain level of professionalism and a certain level of urgency or seriousness that we're supposed to put to the work that we're not putting to the work. This whole Kofi Ajololo thing could have easily been avoided if contracts were signed. I'm not digging out old wounds, or I'm not waking up sleeping dogs. They say let sleeping dogs lie.
Right.
But if we even put that level of seriousness to the craft, to signing a simple contract, then we don't have to go back and argue with the producers. We just take them on. And so, unless we are ready to stop being mediocre, we're not going to evolve and grow. It's just unfortunate. And so, the Ghana movie industry is in that kind of shamble. Elikem, shall I get some script too? I send you, then see if you like them. Oh yeah, I like them. How much you go charge? Oh, you give me 5K. Oh, I go give you 3K. Charlie, money, they okay, I hear. Then you show up on set. You don't ask who's your actors. You don't ask how long you're going to be on set. You don't ask what contracts you're supposed to sign. I recently did a certain car show for this company. It's a car show that's shown on TV. And their contract, they gave me only 500 Ghana cedis for transportation. It's a show that has sponsors. But they give the artist or whoever shows up 500 Ghana cedis for transport. That's what they gave. They were offering me. I don't know about other people. There are other celebrities on the show. And for that 500 Ghana cedis, you're signing away every possible right of yours you have, even to come back and sue them, or even to come back and say, hey, I'm seeing my images being used on billboards and TV stations and other TV stations aside what you mentioned. So give me something for it. There's a clause that stops you from ever coming back to them, and you're signing off all rights of using your voice and your image and so on and so forth for them to use on whatever platform they deem fit. No future royalties possible, because say for example something happens and that show blows 10 years later, and this is now that it's getting its views. You'd have signed away your image for life, and your image is your brand. You know what I mean? And so I only learned recently not to play with the brand. The contract came back to me 4 times after editing it, and I said I'm still not satisfied with it, because I believe there's too much mediocre in the system. And so it's stuff like that. People don't take the job seriously because they think, oh, it's Ghana, so it will be, or make we manage. And then when trouble comes, they come on TV and rant.
I know the conversation is getting really interesting here, but let's take a breather. We'll be right back.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy.
McBerry Twist Cupcakes. Simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
And we are back. If you just joined us, we are still watching Talkertainment here on Ghanaweb TV, and I'm still chit-chatting with your favorite designer, tailor, Elikem.
Yes, ma'am.
So, before we went on break, we're discussing the movie industry.
Right.
Why do most Ghanaian actors these days, I don't want to use most, but a lot of them are actually running to Nigeria to work there? What is happening? What is happening there?
I think it's just diversification. There's nothing wrong with wanting to work overseas. It's actually good for open-mindedness, you know, exchange of cultures and experience and professionalism. You get to see what they're doing outside, and so on and so forth. They always come back. Van Vika was away for the longest time, he came back. Omar Sharif Kaptan was away for a long time in Nigeria, he came back. Chris Atto did Tinsel and so on, he came back. So it's just, to be like an international brand, you need to work internationally. You know Chris Hemsworth and Liam Hemsworth?
Yeah.
They're Australian originally, but they crossed over to Hollywood to do movies and come back to Australia to do movies. Jason Statham, he's British,
Yeah.
but he does a lot of American movies. He's in the Fast and Furious series and so on. So there's nothing wrong with traveling out to do a job or two and living there for a little bit and coming back. Because the ultimate is to reach for the top of the chain of whatever industry you're in. And so, as it stands, Nollywood is better than Gollywood by the far stretch. And so if you start from Gollywood, it's nice to elevate to Nollywood. And if you like, you want to pass through Bollywood and go to Hollywood, it's your problem. But sky should be the limit. Hollywood should be the limit. And it should be a ladder to climb up.
Has it got anything to do with the fact that they pay more than Ghanaian directors?
Well, that too. But there's certain Ghanaian productions you go on that will pay you well. Like recently I was on To Have and To Hold with the great Ivan Kashiga, and it was a production for Aquaba Magic, and the pay was good. Very good. Maybe the highest I've been paid in Ghana so far.
Oh.
However, do you want to compare it to Nigeria? Because also you're a foreigner sometimes in Nigeria, they want to treat you well. And so you can't necessarily measure, you know, in terms of if I was in Nigeria, they'll put me in a nice 5-star luxury hotel, they give me what I want, I have a chaperone, he picks me up. But if I'm in Ghana, I go from home to location and back without any extra special treatment. You know, so it varies. Yeah.
To wrap up the conversation on movie, do you what
Just
do you
there's
see?
more after movie.
Yes, there's more.
My
after
sister.
Movie. So, from your perspective as an actor, do you see any hope for our movie industry?
Hope for moving. Oh yeah. Look, I think there's a right time and place for everything, right? And sometimes we want to blame the leaders, but the common members on the ground are not helping. Why are we not signing contracts? Why are we not taking ourselves seriously? Why are we not fully reading our script and understanding the story to bring out the best performance? The president is not going to come and do that for you. Why are we not telling real, authentic stories that will strike a difference? Let's look at the BBCs. Let's look at the Al Jazeeras. They're buying real, authentic African stories. So if you want to make a mark, you want to make some money, look at what's selling and learn in that field and project. If you also want to be creative and you want to be different, go for it. But let's not just be mediocre. And so the onus is on us to make it work. Nobody's going to come and make it work for us. Not even the president.
Whilst we're on break, I noticed that Elikem was speaking a lot of Ewe with his workers. And I want to know why. What is it about Ewes and with the whole thing about fashion designing and Ewes and your interest in that? Was there anything special?
No, so people ask me a lot that I only work with Ewes, but it's not true. For some funny reason, it's a coincidence that I get more Ewe people coming, maybe because I'm Ewe. They feel like they can relate. However, I've noticed that the most loyal tailors or people who work with me are Ewes. A lot of the Ashantis and Ghans and the foreigners, even outside Ghana, come and they go. And a lot of Ewes have come and a lot of Ewes have gone. But I find out that there's a certain kind of decency and seriousness and hard working ethic that comes to the Ewes. And then you realize that there's also other people from other tribes that come with the same seriousness. So it's partly coincidental and partly I know my Ewe people. We're hardworking like that. Like I recently noticed this more after going to my hometown a lot. I'm in Keta a lot lately, and you see the average Keta person, whether it's by the roadside or in the corner of their homes, trying to do something to make something work. And the honesty is always key. They're always honest about everything. You can't walk out there and be scared of anything. It's most amazing place ever.
Yeah. You heard him. Ewes are very
it was on point.
So coming back to the conversation on fashion designing, how are things with you and Abrantie?
Abrantie and I was never a real fight. I think Abrantie, I'll say it. I highly suspect that it's probably fueled by his wife, Chantel. I say this because me and him don't have a problem. However, when I made a post about being the first to bring my son out on stage, she came out to attack me in my DM, even before Abrantie said anything. Yeah. I have the message. Shall I show you?
Yes.
Was it in my DM or was it in the comment section? But she came out to attack first.
Wow.
Who said you are the first? And we did this in London, and I was like, okay,
hey,
cool down. Like, this is not a fight. If you did it first, I didn't see that. And you did it outside the shores in the UK. I said in Ghana. And aside that, my son fell on the stage, which was part of the routine of the models falling on stage. It was random, it was spontaneous. And I brought a whole Bobobo group from the Volta region to play on stage. That was also the first. And he claimed he played drums on stage before. My theme was based around the original music by the Bobobo drummers and not the music from the speakers. So it's different concepts. So there was no fight there. However, me and him we're cool. We speak all the time. We're chatting on Instagram, and I'm congratulating him. I'm liking his pictures. Look, I'm pro Ghana, and me and Abrantie have said it many times that we need to collaborate. We need to do a collection together, like how musicians collaborate. Sarkodie featuring Black Sheriff, Elikem featuring Abrantie the Gentleman, Abrantie featuring Elikem. We put a collection together. We go face to face. We do our own runway show. Abrantie is walking on the left. Elikem is walking on the right. Healthy competition, and that can create noise or a buzz and put Ghana out there. Why is Ghana trending? Some 2 fashion designers are killing fashion today, stuff like that. So I don't think it's beef. If I've said something and you genuinely feel you are the first and I'm not the first, take it. It's not a fight. However, you can't come at me like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say that would you call yourself a non-conformist?
Hey, or
a controversial.
And I can keep.
Okay, let me just use the word controversial. Would you call yourself a controversial person?
I know every time a celebrity says something online that trends, they are aware that it may most likely trend or not. We are always aware that this thing you're about to say can most likely cause a problem. But we say it anyway because we're entitled to our opinion. We're entitled to our page. As long as I'm not cursing at you, I'm not dissing your mom or your family, and I'm not being provocative, I can speak my opinion. And so, right before I made a Sarkodie post, I was sitting beside Hajara.
Oh, I was just about coming there.
Hajara, look at this. Like, who saw to Sarkodie before he came out to shoot this video? Like, why is this a problem? And I was like, I'm going to post it. Ghana needs to know. People need to wake up. People need to be aware. And I was like, ish, but this thing I'm going to post right now, Sarkodie, he be King Kong. They go worry me. And I posted it anyway.
So you knew.
We always know.
Yeah.
We always know. Shatabale is going to say something provocative on air. He knows it will most likely trend. If Ya Odo knows she'll trend if she wears those kind of clothes and makes a video. We always know. However, sometimes you're not aware it might create such a negative connotation and it might come off wrong and so you can apologize. Because to err is human. And so I might be making a post about Sarkodie, but if I made it and it was somewhat derogatory and I wasn't aware of it, then I must have overstepped my boundaries. However, we always know that this is maybe most likely controversial or not.
But have
and
you?
Yeah, I am just a little bit controversial, I must say.
Okay.
And not that I'm proud of it, but I speak my mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you met Sarkodie after?
No. Never seen him before, never seen him after.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're not friends.
Never ever before.
No. I don't know him. I make clothes for his DJ Mensa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're born on the same day actually. But never met Sarkodie before. I'm a fan of his music and his talent and his ability to mix and match up words. I love his music. We never met him before. Yeah.
People were upset that you are criticizing their idol.
Yeah,
Elikem doesn't idolize people like that.
Their boss, they bossy attach their boss, but I think to be true I talk. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Recently on Twitter, there's this gentleman who lives abroad. He's called Firestick. I don't know whether you saw that.
What's his name?
Firestick.
No.
Okay. He sells sneakers and stuff. And he likes, like if you wear something and he thinks it's fugazi, you talk about it. So he likes calling a lot of celebrities out to talk about their outfit.
Oh, okay.
So he and Strongman and Co were fighting on Twitter. I think.
Oh yeah,
few
I
days
saw
ago.
something. They said Strongman wears fake clothes or something like that.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
Charlie, they all wear fake.
That is what I wanted to ask you.
All of them wear fake. Masa.
Do you think celebrities don't put so much, don't invest so much in their looks?
You cannot afford the original, but because you want to look good, you have to make shifts. And so your sunglasses are not original, but you wear the first grade or the second grade or the one that looks original just for the sake of showing up for the music video and so on and so forth. So a lot of things are props. The sunglasses could be props, the clothes could be props, the cars. A lot of them don't drive the cars they portray in the music videos. A lot of them don't own the big boats, the Lamborghinis, the cash they use. Some of the cash is even photocopy. This is film we're talking about. You can cheat. They don't own all those cars. They don't own all those mansions, but they're props. They make the video look good. And so, how much money is a Ghanaian artist making on average to be able to afford a $900 pair of sunglasses? How much money are they making to be able to afford an $800 pair of $800 watch? Strongman has a family, and so instead of him going to spend $1,000 on a wristwatch or sunglasses, he will pay his children's school fees and pay rent and accommodation. It makes more sense. However, because you need to wear a white pair of shoes, go and buy the fake one at Accra to do for 400 cedis and shoot your music video. It doesn't change anything. And what I discovered was, when my ex-wife started going to China to make her shoes, and she used to go to Turkey, then she'd go to China, you'd realize that some of these shoes that you're making by the manufacturers that cost $10 or $20 compared to the $1,000 Louboutin, that you will even find out that the $10, $20 shoe is of a better quality than the Christian Louboutin shoe. So now they're selling brands and names and so on and so forth. So it's always highly overpriced. And so if I can buy the copy for 10% of the actual price and it will give me the same look and feel I'm getting in the music video, I'd rather take care of my family with that money than spend it on clothes. So Strongman is doing nothing wrong. It could be a little bit of pressure from the industry. Where else will he find white Air Force sneakers to buy? Instead of buying it for $200 online, he will buy it for $20 at Studio and use the rest of the money for his family. Simple as that. It's no big deal. That guy said where he talk say they buy original. What's the guy's name again?
Fasting.
How much original does he buy? If he's spending all his money on designers, on original, he's a big fool. I'm saying this on authority today. You can't be a young, struggling entrepreneur or young, struggling young man trying to set up life and spend all your money on foreigns and spend all your money on designer. You will die before your time. Doesn't make sense. So I don't know what he's on about if that's what he does, but it's not the right thing to do.
Okay. Speaking of ex-wife, recently you were in Zim. How is parenting, co-parenting going?
It's all right. Pokello is flexing small, but it's all good. We communicate about the boy. I'm trying to get him into piano lessons, but for some reason, I'm not getting through to her too much to get the boy lessons. However, our communication is smooth. I was supposed to be sending some money every month, but I think not to think that they're okay without me sending it, but I think that they're in a better space now, and I can also slightly focus here and rather channel the energy into visiting the boy a lot. So I want to see him about maybe twice a year, if not at least once a year, or travel him down with whoever can come with him and set up things for him. And I want to contribute, with trying to get him piano lessons, pay for a tutor. But all in all, she's doing an amazing job, with the boy. And I always applaud her for it, because if she wasn't taking care of him the way she is, it will put a lot more pressure on me. So I really, really do appreciate Pokello, for looking out for me and the boy the way she is.
Is there a chance that you'd come back to Ghana and come and spend a little holidays with you or something?
Yeah, that's the plan. The last time we were talking about it, he said, how many planes do you need to take to Ghana? I said 1 or 2, depends on which route you're taking. And he's already asking questions. He was here when he was very young, so I'm not sure he remembers anything. But that's the plan. Right now he's young, he can't travel unaccompanied. And so the last time I was in South Africa, shooting Amazing Voices Africa, I flew him in with Pokello's personal assistant. And we had like a whole week to ourselves. We did zip lining, we went bowling, we went gaming.
I follow you, so I saw everything.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do with the boy. Just spend time, a lot of time with him.
Trying to give him food he doesn't really like.
And then recently in Zim, we're cooking.
Yeah.
So I travel, I get an Airbnb, and we go everywhere. We do everything. We spend time together, we sleep together. And I love my boy. He's my first child, and he broke the ice for me, with
And I must commend you. You're doing
love.
so well with this whole parenting thing. I could say you're someone people should look up to.
I don't have a choice to be a good father. My father was the best. My father would show up at school on your birthday with squash and a cake. So now I have to portray the same love to my kids because I felt it. It was pleasant. Yeah. And my dad would take you out to town, he'd show you things, he'd let you read books. I can only be as good a father, even better, to my children because my father was amazing. So I don't have a choice. I didn't have a quote unquote the S word father.
Yeah. And
so I can't be a snap father. I gotta be on point.
Yeah. And your new partner, how is she handling the fame?
I kind of coached her about how hectic it can be when people know of you and people want to talk about you, and she tastes it every now and then. Like recently we went out and she was wearing an
outfit.
What do you call the singlet that you clip under? No, you have anything? Something suit, bodysuit.
Bodysuit, yeah.
She was wearing a bodysuit and a drawer at her bottom small, and she was wearing baggy pants, and the fabric was quite light. And everyone started going on her on the internet that she was wearing granny panties, and she took it lightly.
And even when you guys went for the Emmy Awards, there's some awards launch something, and she wore a loose dress. They said, "Hey, at that time I think she was pregnant."
People will always,
this,
she understands now that people will always attack you, but understanding that also, don't forget that there's people who still love you. So you focus on the love, and you forget about the hate, because empty barrels make the most noise. So you'll notice that, like I did this analogy with the Sarkodie post. I had over 1,000 comments and even half of those comments were bad and half were good. But I got more than 10,000 likes, I think. I don't remember. So you notice that people who like the post is more than the few people who are talking much. And so only because you can read a very negative statement to say, granny panties, you're too skinny, you let that affect you, forgetting that the real people don't talk. Busy people who have something doing, who are real busy, don't have time to be talking about other people. They don't have time to be looking through other people's Instagram because they're busy with their stuff. Like, I get so busy in a day. I had to go 5 other places before I met you right now, including the barbershop for the look. And so I cannot be on Instagram dragging someone for what they're wearing, because the moment I see the post and it's funny or it's not, I'm moving on to the next. And then I need time to make my own post. Why am I going to waste my time on your post when I have to make my post to sell or to make business? So gave her a little bit of an understanding, and she's also on social media a lot, so she sees what happens to all these other famous people and how they can be dragged for nothing. So she understands to the best of her ability. She understands.
Okay. Before we draw the curtains,
Steven,
I think
look what knitting.
if you have any words you have to say, your last words to your fans.
to my fans.
Yes.
Guys, desire in your heart what you really want to do. Fail at it by trying. Learn from the failure, and at the other side of it, you might just have your success. And then if it doesn't work, wake up and try again, and try again, and again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
All right. So also soon, here's where we draw the curtains. Thank you so much, Elikem, for hosting us in your shop to get to experience what people don't get opportunities to see on a daily basis. And we have come to an end of this discussion, and I hope you enjoyed every bit of it. As usual, I am your host, Elsie Lamar. You have been watching Talkertainment on Ghanaweb TV. See you another time. Till then, we are out.